Goddess, do you know what you are? Goddess, do you know what you are? God, do you know? God, do you know what you are? God, do you know what you are? Goddess, do you know? Goddess, do you know what you are? Goddess, do you know what you are?
We've been up in the midst of creation. Seen the beginning of time. We ruled over civilization until the devil took our mind. Stuck in the middle, stayed hoping for something to come and free us from this trap. The enemies constantly putting pressure up on us, hoping one day we snap.
Tell me, do you know?
We're the director for the universe. The only thing that can claim us here is the Most High. The same thing that colors your skin is the same thing that darkens up the night sky. We're the Alpha and Omega. The enemy's trying to stop it. Saying we came from the dust of this earth, but the dust that we came from was cosmic.
Tell me, do you know?
We're destined to rule and serve, not to be slaves, and we're not here to serve it. We're the most precious creation around here, not broke down and worthless. Lucky the life in our blood and our legacies built on our struggle. Our people never fought, we all stay strong in the times of our trouble. Sometimes when I meditate, I like to elevate and gravitate with the stars. Center my focus, align in my energy. Walk with the gods and try to raise the bar. Keep my mind charged up and try to eat false past the state that we in because we came too far. Then when I wake up, I go to my people and ask them in truth, do you know what you
Tell
are?
me, do you know? God, do you know what you are? God, do you know what you are? Goddess, do you know? Goddess, do you know what you are? Goddess, do you know what you are? God, do you know? God, do you know what you are? God, do you know what you are? Goddess, do you know? Goddess, do you know what you are? Goddess, do you know what you are? God, do you know? God, do you know what you are? God, do you know what you are? Goddess, do you know? Goddess, do you know what you are? Goddess, do you know what you are? God, do you know? God, do you know what you are? God, do you know what you are? Goddess, do you know? Goddess, do you know what you are? Goddess, do you know what you are?
Talk to them. So many lies have been told to all us in the name of confusion. Reality's fake and what we all see daily is just an illusion. To them we're just savages, piece of this earth only meant to be killed. Globally treated like garbage, just targets to kill off at will. Put us in chains, threw us in a boat and then they took us from our nation. Make sure we all stay divided and sleep from many generations. Put us in ghettos and make sure we all stay confined to the system. Even though you don't have bars in front of you, you still live in prison. Try to weaken our men and impregnate our women. The women who fight back get murdered. Then act all innocent when we rise up and want blood cause you hurt her. Killing our children and use your agendas. I hate to erase all our seeds. How could you not expect us to want to destroy you and bring you to your knees?
God, do you know what you are? God, do you know what you are? Goddess, do you know? Goddess, do you know what you are? Goddess, do you know what you are? God, do you know? God, do you know what you are? God, do you know what you are? Goddess, do you know? Goddess, do you know what you are? Goddess, do you know what you are? God, do you know? God, do you know what you are? God, do you know what you are? Goddess, do you know? Goddess, do you know what you are? Goddess, do you know what you are? God, do you know? God, do you know what you are? God, do you know what you are? Goddess, do you know? Goddess, do you know what you are? Goddess, do you know what you are? Hey.
Peace and Black Power family. This is your Harlem educator, author, and activist, the Black Liberation Coach, Brother Agyei Tyehimba. I'm filming live on location in that wonderful village of Harlem, New York. Peace and blessings, family. Wukusu. Today is another day for us to shine our light and to talk about and to implement and to practice Black liberation, Black solidarity, self-determination, Black self-reliance, right? Blessed to be alive and be breathing. I hope you are too. And I'd like to cordially thank all of the Africans on the thread for joining us today. I do not take your presence or you for granted in any way. Very appreciative for time today. Secondly, I'd like to ask you to please check out my books. You can go to that link or you can go to Amazon.com, type in my name, Agyei Tyehimba, and all of the books and book titles and prices will come up. Support your brother, because that money not only helps to sustain myself and my family, but it goes back into the community somehow, some way. And 3, check me out on Patreon, family, on the Patreon platform. With that said, I'd like us to talk a little bit about our topic today, message to the warriors, the behavior of a warrior. And if you look on the description section of this video, you'll see a link I left. It says purchase this book here. We're going to be focusing our discussion around a very important book written by a very important elder, Baba Jegna, in our community, authentic Baba Jegna in our community. By authentic, I mean he has decades of demonstrated work, decades of committed service to our community that has been highly effective, and you can research it. He's vouched for. I had the pleasure of meeting good brother Mwalimu. I do want to emphasize the word is Mwalimu. It's a Swahili word, family, so the M is silent. It's Mwalimu Baruti, Bomani Baruti. He is along with his wife, Sister Ya, or is that Ayo? I think it's Ya. They founded the Akobin Institute 20 years ago. This is what I mean by authentic. He has a demonstrated record. You can go back 20 years and see what the brother and his wife were doing. They are a blessing and a tribute to our race and to our people. It is an African-centered school in Atlanta, Georgia, and this brother has written over 20 books. Today we're talking about one specific book called Message to the Warriors. And everybody should buy this book, family. Male, female, buy the book, read, absorb its messages, and you'll be a better person for it. Those of you who are already on that path, you'll still be a better person for it. So don't be one of these people that feels like, I know it all, I don't need to read. I got it all figured out. None of us has it all figured out, because we're still not free. We're still being killed with impunity all over this nation. Everywhere in the world where black people exist, we're on the lowest rung of the totem pole. So we don't have it figured out. We need to be humble and clear about that. This brother I give a salute to for helping light the way, for helping us see some of the things it is we need to do, and the manner in which we need to be thinking, because as Brother Amun Takala and Hotep told us in our live the other day, we are literally being warred against. And so we must literally adopt the thinking and behavior of a warrior. And that's what we're talking about today. Please check that link out. Go to his website and purchase that book. And there's others that you can purchase as well. Right, family? With that said, I'd like to kind of get us started. And so here you can see the book itself, Message to the Warriors, Mwalimu Baruti. And I think it's something, family, again, please purchase that. But go to the link, even if you don't purchase it today, go to the link and check it out and look at his other books. Look at his biography. Look at his impressive work record for us, family. Support those who support you. Okay? So today we're talking very specifically about one section of the book, one chapter. He's talking about, well, what's the behavior of a warrior? And he gives us a really good, clear, concise framework for if we call ourselves warriors or we aspire to be warriors for African liberation, what are some of the ways we should be thinking and acting? It's a very good framework. We're going to get into it right now, family. I don't know, some of you may be watching on your mobile device, your TV, your laptop. I don't know if you can see the chart I'm presenting here. So I will read it and go through it quickly so that we are all clear. One of the things he kind of breaks this up into two categories of people. African nationalists, which we presume he sees as warriors, and raceless zombies, right? Some would say Negroes. Okay. He says The first four things: study, number one, study. He says work ethic, organization, and family. Let's go through it quickly. And he compares a warrior or African nationalist with a raceless zombie or Negro. Under the category of study, he says that a warrior or African nationalist is a student for life, has a worthy library, knowledgeable of history and our story, incessant, powerful thinker. He said the profane word, he said that curse word that the white man has made a curse. Think, think, think. Whereas a Negro, he said, or a raceless zombie, reads little, studies nothing of worth, focuses on trivia, irrelevant information, right? And this is a person that is historically and historically literate. So that means literate and knowledgeable not only of world history and some of the white man's history, but of our own history. But notice he doesn't just say, just read, know your history. We got to know history, right? Number two, work ethic, family. Entrepreneur, or at least an entrepreneur spirit, hard worker, internally motivated to produce what our nation needs, right? Whereas the raceless zombie or Negro is lazy, externally motivated. So he puts externally / money motivated. People only get something or get excited about something or get involved with something or take something seriously when money's on the table or when someone else is saying it or something happens outside of them. Okay, very important. Love this, love this. Oh, and also says, job hunter works for others. Now, just to clarify, many of us have what we may call formal 9-to-5 type jobs with the enemy or some corporation or nonprofit or whatever. I don't think our brother Mwalimu Baruti is trying to penalize people who work these type of jobs, but he's saying that a warrior is constantly, no matter if they're working for somebody else or themselves, they're constantly thinking about how can I create an independent system that I work for and it works for us, where we make the rules and we set up the culture and the system, and it benefits our community, right? In terms of the topic of organization, he says that a warrior, is on the front line of battle, not under the covers, not between the sheets, not just watching it on the news, not on the sidelines cheering, but on the field, right? He says that a warrior organizes life around nation building, has a nation building mission and vision, and is oriented towards sovereignty of future generations. So just like many of our outstanding ancestors, Harriet Tubman, Malcolm X, Chokwe Lumumba, and the list goes on, they're not just thinking about their peers, the people living in their contemporary times. They're thinking about Africans yet to be born. And that takes a hell of a person that can not only worry about what they're going through and what's going on in their day and time, but planning for the future, versus the Negro or the raceless zombie, he calls them. Disarrayed. Listen, and you're going to hear common threads of what I've been saying for years, what other people have been saying for years. Disarrayed, all over the place, family, without focus or direction, planless, no vision outside immediate image, vanity, and survival. So think about all the money and time we spend on how we look, on getting ready, on this, on that, and then put that on the scale with how much time and money and energy we spend reading, learning a new skill, being in our community, thinking about how we can be more effective warriors in our community and for the Black Liberation African Sovereignty Movement. The points he makes are almost completely indisputable. Some may be uncomfortable, but that's okay. Under the topic of family, listen carefully, family, and get this book, read it for yourself, but listen carefully. The warrior is family and child-centered, married or committed, bears and rears their own children, assists peers and those who are younger, but operates like a Baba, Nana, or Jegna, in other words. Stabilizes and improves marital relationships. Extends self into the lives of all African people. Versus the Negro, or what he calls raceless zombie, makes but aborts, neglects, abuses, and or abandons their offspring. Lives to be single, what he calls a serial monogamist. Has multiple relationships, one right after the other, never seeking to learn what love is really about. Irresponsible socially, economically, and educationally to offspring. Family, I want to pause and I want to say, this may sound very harsh, very rigid. The brother's giving you guidelines, family. We all fall short, right? But he's giving you the general guidelines. These are things to aspire to be. If you're not there, these are goals we can aspire to be. These are principles we can teach. These are practices we can model and emulate and advocate for in our households, in our communities, and in our organizations, right? Again, family, buy this book. All right, let's go to the next piece. And now he extends the discussion. Again, we're reading from our dear Jegna Baba Mwalimu Bomani Baruti's book, Message to the Warriors. And I want to say again, family, if you're hearing or you're reading along with me, and you say, damn, I don't do this, I don't do that, I don't do this, I don't do that, I haven't met this level or standard. It's not about beating yourself up and feeling guilty. It's about pushing yourself to meet the standard, family. Right? Because when you read and listen to this, you're going to see everybody's going to see room for improvement in their own life. And I hope that we think about this and go back and say, wow, where are the areas where I seem to be lacking, according to Brother Mwalimu Baruti, and make a commitment to become better in those areas. So he goes on to say these are the behaviors or the thinking of a warrior. He says, hold on one second. Around the issue of land, he says that a warrior is land conscious, understands the connection between land and food, is communal, knows that control and protection determine ownership. Whereas the Negro, or the raceless zombie, is landless. They have no land aspiration. They genuinely believe that European, Arab, and Asian space or land is theirs too. They're under the illusion of assimilation and integrationism, in other words. Discipline. Mwalimu Baruti tells us that a warrior has internal discipline. They're constantly self-aware of their thoughts, their words, and their deeds. They're ever working to hone and improve their self, and they're non-contradictory. The only thing I would add to the non-contradictory, family, is that practically speaking, realistically speaking, most people have some contradictions. That's where we say we fall short. So we aspire to be this way on any given day or during any given week or month. We fall short of that aspiration. Some would say that's contradictory. But as long as we are moving constantly in that direction, to the point where there is no contradiction. That's the only thing I would add to give it a little nuance, but I agree with the brother. Whereas a Negro or non-warrior is external. They're oblivious to the need for and the benefits of self-restraint. We're talking about discipline. Without reasonable boundaries, dependent on instant gratification. These are people who can't see beyond their nose, family. You're telling them, yo, we need to do this, and if we do this, this is the outcome. This is the people it reach. This is the power it could develop for us. And people just don't get it. They want to know, well, will it help me pay this bill tomorrow? Can I eat it? Can I wear it? Can I drive it? Then my ears, my mind is not attuned to you. This is what he's talking about. Under the topic of honesty and dependability, he says a warrior is trustworthy, always there when needed, independently sees what needs to be done and acts accordingly. It doesn't take somebody to tap him on the shoulder and say, yo, you need to pay that bill. Yo, I need you to go out here and hustle and get some money. Yeah, I need you to have conversation and be open with me. We need to be honest and loving. They see this for themselves. They see a need that needs to be met. If they can meet it, they meet it. If they can't meet it, they may get in conversation with somebody who can. That's a warrior. Honest, and you can depend on them. Think of it like a basketball game. The clock is coming down. 10, 9, 8. It's the championship game. You got the ball. You're passing it around. Most players on that team is going to try to get that ball in the hands of the person or the people who they have the most confidence is going to, one, take the shot, and number two, make the shot. And if they don't make the shot, get fouled so that they at least get a chance to go to the free throw line. They're going to give it to the running back who they feel has the greatest chance of not bowling over the defense, finding the seam in the defense and getting to the end zone, right? It's the same thing. We need people we can depend on. When we throw them the ball, they're not going to lose the ball and the other team gets it and goes down the other side of the court. We give this to the running back, he ain't going to fumble the damn ball on the 1 yard line and the other team gets it back. We need people we can depend on. And I know from where I sit, family, it's something I think about all the time. If I ask somebody for this and they tell me they're going to do something, or somebody voluntarily says, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, do they do it? If they do this repeatedly, say something, don't do it, or they do it 3 months later, you can't trust them. You can't depend on them. Now, they might be good people, but if you can't depend on somebody as a warrior, those type of people become of less and less value to you. You're in a wartime scenario. Brother Moon was talking to us about it the other day. And you need people who can shoot and shoot accurately. You don't want to be with a team of people and you got some people shooting people in their own part of their own military branch, right? Or people who didn't have the presence of mind to make sure they had enough ammunition before they went to the battlefield. Now you got this Negro talking about, oh, I got the guns, I don't have no ammo. Meanwhile, you getting shot at. Warriors are dependable. If they say something, you can bet on it like the sun's coming up and the sun sets, family. Very important. Thank you for this, Mwalimu Baruti. Thank you so much for this book. Whereas a Negro, a non-warrior, untrustworthy, a chronic liar, appears when there is something to be gained for themselves, and they're dependent on instant gratification, once again. And then the last category he gives, listen carefully. If you don't meet the standard, do not beat yourself up. Take it in, see where you're weak or soft, and commit this year, starting today, that you're going to be better in these areas. The last category of a warrior, according to our good brother Mwalimu Baruti, is in the area of spending and consumption. He says a warrior is frugal, does not waste resources, does not waste money on fads, distinguishes their wants from their needs, avoids credit unless absolutely necessary, does not support alien or enemy businesses and economies, buys African, and barters extensively. So, in other words, it might say, well, I got this resource you value, you got a resource I value. Let's exchange that. Let's see if we can keep our cash in our pockets for other things. But notice he says frugal. This ain't the person that's going out as soon as they get money, the money's burning a hole in their pocket, in their hand, they got it. They think of stuff to buy, stuff they may not even need. Then they get the stuff and waste it. How much food do we waste? How much money do we waste? Think about it, family. This covers all of us. It includes us all. A warrior can't afford to waste anything because they know that today is one day, but then hopefully ancestors and Most High willing will be alive tomorrow, next week, next month, next year. So if you waste and squander all your resources today, you put yourself and your family and community in a situation where they're living in a desert. They have no resources. So they're always thinking, no, I'm going to cut back on this. They're finding ways to cut back to save, right? So they're not trying to get the latest this or the best that, right? Okay. Now let's look at the Negro or the raceless zombie, the non-warrior, as Brother Mwalimu Baruti defines it. Extremely wasteful, the ultimate super conspicuous consumer, buying to be seen, mindless materialism, works to spend, not to save and invest or build, owns nothing of worth, a renter or a leaser forever. And that's not just a renter or a leaser of a place to live. We're talking about all types of things. These Negroes is leasing cars, renting cars for years instead of just buying a car. That is amazing, right? Credit dependent, fully supports alien and enemy businesses and economies. Family, did our brother Mwalimu Baruti nail it? Did that brother give you some stuff to think about? Did that brother make you go, damn, that's kind of like me? Did that make you go, yeah, I fall short in that? If so, that's a good thing. It just means we got room to grow. I love this brother's mind. I love the brother's precise and insightful thinking. I like his ability to understand the community he's dealing with, black people, the masses of us, and those who say we're warriors, and to give us exactly what we need to hear. May not be what we want to hear, but it's absolutely what we need to hear. So family, as I conclude, let me just remind us, this book is available on his website. You can get it on Amazon, but I really plead with the community, go to the brother's website so he can and his family can get all that money, right? I put that link on the description section of this video. You can click it and you'll be right there. This book that we were quoting from is called Message to the Warriors by Brother Mwalimu Bomani Baruti. Had the pleasure of building with him and his wife at the Building Power Conference in Mississippi with the Black Liberation Movement. So shout out to the Black Liberation Movement for hosting the venue where a lot of us got to meet up like that. And both he and his wife were doing it. We talk about power couples. We think about Beyonce and Jay-Z. Family, this is the type of power couple we need. Not just people that we buying their stuff and flossing and then we broke for the rest of the year. People who are giving something back to our community and helping our community how to build for ourselves. Make ourselves rich and powerful instead of everybody but ourselves. So I salute them. I got nothing but African love for that couple. And Sister Agyei Baruti, by the way, does women's circles. Look her up. She's on Facebook. Look these warriors up. They offer some very valuable services for our community. And with that said, I'd like to thank all the Africans that came on this thread. I see Brother Carlton Jones representing the Independence Day Project. Cop that film. www.blackindependence.org. I see our sister Anisha. I see Chris Surrey. My one true love, my baby girl, Brenda Hilaire's in the building. Sister Keisha Hopkins Forrester, thank you for joining. Erin Roxenborough says she loves the song that I start off with my lives. And I just want to give Brother Amun a shout out, because the same brother that's the commander of the Anubis militia in Houston, Texas, is the brother that made that song. He's multi-talented. Louis Black, thank you. Lenora Augustine, thank you for coming out. PC Sanderson. Who else? We got Patrick Young. Robert Lawson says you're currently reading it. Excellent, Brother Rob. Excellent. Robert Lawson says he's currently reading this book, Message to the Warriors. A very important book, he says, for those who are serious. Aseri Bello. Nephew, what's up, brother? Haven't spoken to you in a minute. I gotta hit you up today. Brother Los in the building. Brother Stephen Biko Gady in the building. Sister Erica Isaac, glad you joined, my sister. Peace and Black Power. Leonard Brother Leonard, I'm sorry. And who we got? Daniel Guttridge Sr. C.K. Haley in the building. Melody Wilson. Sister Queen Lo Glenn, what's up, good sister? Peace. Black Power Kusu. Thank you for joining, family. We're going to end now. Thank you for joining me. Have a blessed day. And please, family, get this book. Review this video. I'm going to edit it and post it on our YouTube channel. But review this video and just have an honest discussion with yourself. Where do I fall short? Where am I good? What things do I need to work on? Life ain't about being perfect. Life is about striving for excellence or perfection. With that said, family, if we can wrap our minds around these principles, this principle of being a warrior versus a raceless zombie or ignorant Negro, we can buy this book, support our people who are writing these books and trying to teach our people right, I have no doubt of 3 words, and those words are, we will win. Peace, Black Power, Kusu family, all day, every day.